Hi there, my magical star beings. This is Psychic Siren Tarot, and welcome back to the channel. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at unspoken words between the two of you that needs to be said. So before we get started with your pile selection, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, Keen. So this is how my best friend almost ruined my relationship. It started with a missed call from Emily on my boyfriend Kyle's phone at a weird time. Then I saw a missed call from Kyle on Emily's phone as well. I wondered why they'd call each other while I'm at work. My heart raced. I trust them, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I felt uneasy about Emily before. A year ago, I noticed how she and Kyle seemed to click, sharing jokes and glances that made me uncomfortable. Once I even caught Emily smiling at a message from Kyle, and when I asked him about it, he said it was private. I just dismissed it as paranoia due to my trust issues, but the doubt lingered. The new incident made my old suspicions resurface. Kyle became more secretive, always on his phone, which was unusual for him, and Emily started cancelling plans last minute, which wasn't like her. Everything seemed off, and my anxiety grew. I confronted Kyle about the call, but he brushed it off as a mistake. But when I asked Emily, she said she didn't even remember calling at all. Their vague answers made me even more anxious. I needed to know the truth, so that's when I decided to consult with a tarot reader from Keen. I browsed Keen's website, searching for the right psychic for my situation. I found one specializing in relationship readings with great reviews. But it was her energy that caught my attention, so I decided to consult with her, hoping she could reveal the truth. I explained my fears and asked for clarity. As she began typing, I just felt a gnawing anxiety, fearing the truth I might hear. She told me the cards speak of betrayal, and my stomach dropped. Then she added, but they also speak of celebration, a union of hearts. Confused and frustrated, I asked, what does that mean? Her vagueness felt like torture. The truth lies in what you choose to see. The betrayal may not be what you think. Sometimes the heart sees what it fears, not what is real, she responded. I left the chat more confused than ever. Over the next few days, her words echoed in my mind, turning every interaction with Kyle and Emily into something sinister. The final straw came when I saw Kyle and Emily together at a coffee shop, speaking in hushed tones. They didn't see me, but I saw enough to confirm the worst. I left in tears. Back home, I felt broken. How could they betray me? But as I paced around, the tarot reader's words returned to me. Celebration? Union of hearts? Could there be another explanation? The next day, I decided to confront them. I know something's going on, I blurted out. Just tell me the truth. Kyle and Emily exchanged a glance, then smiled. We were going to tell you tonight, Emily said softly. Tell me what? I demanded. Kyle pulled out a small velvet box. We've been planning a special anniversary surprise for you. Our 3-year anniversary is next month. Emily helped me because you trust her taste more than mine. My mind reeled as everything fell into place. The strange calls, the secret meetings, the cryptic conversations. It was all for me. I felt a flood of relief and guilt. The tarot reader's words made sense now. The betrayal was actually my own mistrust, twisted by my fears. I hugged them both, tears streaming down my face as the weight of doubt lifted. They've been planning something beautiful for me, not against me. So I realized that sometimes trust means choosing to see love, even when fear blinds you. I hope you enjoyed that little nugget of my personal life, and if you've had thoughts about something you need clarity on, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can get a reading whenever it suits you. Just create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. Each reader has unique gifts and specialties, so whether you need insights on love, career, or life in general, they can provide deeper understanding and guidance. Choose whichever reader best suits you, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now, here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile number 1, we have the Crystal Strawberry Obsidian with the Chrysalis Tarot. For pile number 2, we have Purple Agate with the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have Chrysocolla with the Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile, pick whichever one you are most drawn to. You're more than welcome to meditate on the piles or pause the video if you struggle to pick a pile. So once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose the Strawberry Obsidian Crystal and the Chrysalis Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at unspoken words between you two that need to be said. So this can be for any person on your mind at all, so keep your person in mind while I shuffle the cards. Please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. On the left side, we're going to take a look at your energy, and on the right side, we're going to take a look at their energy, so that I can better differentiate the unspoken words between the two of you. So spirit guides of pile number 1, may I please tap into pile number 1's energy as well as the person on their mind? What are the unspoken words between the two of them that need to be said? So on pile number 1's side, please show me what are the unspoken words. So you have the Ace of Pentacles showing up first. Sometimes these cards just don't go straight. Okay, you have the Moon. Okay, you have the Four of Pentacles reversed, sorry. On this person's side, what are the unspoken words that need to be said? You have the Artist with the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Celtic Owl with the Hanged Man. And you have the Two of Swords. At the back of the deck, you have the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so on your side, I see that you perhaps need to tell them, and only take this if it resonates. I see that you perhaps need to tell them how you feel about their commitment issues, because when I tap in clairvoyantly, I'm seeing on your side towards theirs two rings with a cross over it. So that makes me think of commitment issues. So maybe there's this feeling of like you being unhappy about this person not wanting to commit to you. Maybe that needs to be said if you resonate with that. Another thing I see on your side, well, I'm smelling burnt toast, and that makes me think that maybe this person is too late on something, because when you think of burnt toast, you put the toast in the toaster, right? And it only gets burnt if you take too long to take it out of the toaster. So maybe there's this feeling of like you're taking too long doing something I want you to do, or doing something I've asked you to do, and I'm just not happy with it. So there's that type of feeling coming through, or maybe it's just too late. Maybe that's something that needs to be said to this person. Like maybe they're putting in efforts a little bit too late. Maybe they're wanting to fix things a little bit too late. Maybe you've already started to move on from this person. And that's kind of what I get for some of you. Don't take it if it doesn't resonate. On your side, you need to tell them the deeper hidden feelings that you may hide from them with the Moon. Whether that be positive or negative, you need to tell them about it, because when we think of the moon illuminates things, but The moon also has parts of it that are hidden when we look at the moon, sort of like I don't know how it goes exactly, but I know somehow like some parts of the moon are hidden and they're not being illuminated. So I feel like the hidden sort of feelings you have for this person, whether they be good or bad, need to be said. On your side, there is something regarding stability. With the Four of Pentacles reverse, maybe you feel like you don't have some kind of financial stability with this person for some of you. Even with the Ace of Pentacles, like maybe for some of you, you're kind of like with a person that isn't necessarily providing for you or isn't necessarily like bringing money on the table or anything like that. Like maybe some of you are with somebody where it's sort of like maybe they're bad with money or they're not saving or they're just not really making money, if that makes sense, and it's affecting your livelihood, like if you live with this person or something like that. So that's what I get for some of you. For others of you, maybe it's not financial, but maybe it's like you're looking for somebody that is maybe more deep and more emotional in some way, and maybe you're looking for somebody that's maybe going to be a part of your life in a more stable way. Maybe you're looking for a life partnership, and maybe this person isn't quite exactly that yet. And maybe there's this feeling of like it's gonna take a long time to wait for you to become that, and I don't want to wait around. So that's what I'm getting for some of you. Or maybe you see potential in this person, but they haven't quite reached that point yet, like where you're looking for that life partner, right? You're looking for that stable connection in your life, whether this is a friendship or romantic, just take it as it resonates. But you're looking for something more stable, but maybe they just aren't in that stability anymore. And with the Four of Pentacles reverse, I feel like you just give endlessly to this person, and maybe there has been this energy of like selfishness or greed in a way for some of you, where this person isn't exactly giving you the same as you're giving them. And for others of you, there's this feeling of like, I want you to open up to me, but you're holding back. I want you to open up about your feelings, about what you feel to me, like what you think about me, but you're not opening up. So, there's something about that coming through. On this person's side, the unspoken words that need to be said. For some of you regarding the financial situation, I see a sort of specific situation where maybe this person is trying to follow their dreams with the artist here. It doesn't necessarily have to be that they're an artist, but maybe they're trying to make money out of their own dream, but maybe it's just not happening the way it's expected. Maybe it's taking way longer than the way they plan it to be. And maybe you're feeling frustrated because you want some kind of financial stability and they're just not bringing it, if that makes sense. And an unspoken word from their side is that they want to follow their own dreams. They want to, make their own dreams happen. And they don't want to give up on their dreams for one person. So I feel like, okay, if you resonate with that situation where you'd like them to maybe get like a more stable job instead of following their dreams, I don't feel like they would choose between their dreams or you. And I feel like they would tell you that I would want a person in my life that would want me to follow my dreams, if that makes sense from their perception. So I feel like if you had to have a conversation about that, they would say that, like, I would want somebody that would want me to follow my own dreams. And if there is this feeling of like we both want different things and I don't want to force you to give up on your dreams for me, then maybe there's this feeling of like incompatibility in terms of what we both want. So that could be something that needs to be taken a look at if you resonate with that. An unsaid word from them would be, I know I'm taking a long time to open up, or I know I'm taking a long time to commit, or I know I'm taking a long time to become more of that stable partner you want me to be, or that stable friend you want me to be. But, I'm trying. Because for them, with the Two of Swords, it's like they want to make some kind of big decision here. But since this unicorn is kind of like making the scroll roll over, I feel like they're sort of making a list of reasonings in their mind of why they should or why they shouldn't do it. And a lot of those reasonings of why they shouldn't do it are sort of holding them back in a way, and are sort of like impossible things that maybe are unlikely to happen. That's how I see it. So maybe this person would open up to you and say, I have certain fears that almost seem unlikely to happen, but I still fear it, if that makes sense. Or, I'm going over a list of pros and cons in my mind of why I should do it or why I shouldn't do it. I'm having a hard time making this decision. It's taking really long for me to figure out what I want or what decision I want to make here. And that's what I see with the Two of Swords, the Hangman. It's like I'm taking really long to make this decision. There's definitely something regarding money and stability showing up. Like, I know it's taking a really long time to get stable financial wise, but I- I'm trying to make decisions that help me put me on that path. So that's what I'm getting. So unspoken words that need to be said on pile number 1 side. It sort of feels like their unspoken words are replies to what you say, because I feel like this person, okay, one unspoken word of theirs that wouldn't be like a response to what you've said would be this thing of fears that almost seem impossible. Like fears that seem like they wouldn't necessarily happen, if that makes sense. That would be something they tell you. But I feel like this person hasn't really hidden any feelings or like thoughts that they need to talk about. But let's see what comes up. So the 10 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, and the storyteller with the Hermit. And on their side, Spirit, the unspoken words that need to be said. The 3 of Wands, Bella Rosa with the Devil. So I'm just trying to make these cards neat. Okay, and you have the 4 of Cups. Okay, so I feel like this person would say to you that sometimes I'm scared of making a decision because what if I make the wrong decision? Sometimes I'm scared I make a decision and later on I'm unhappy about it. So sometimes they procrastinate on decision making because of fears of what if I'm not happy with the decision I make, or what if I make the wrong decision, or what if I, make a decision and I end up hurting you and later take back that decision. So they're really contemplating how they would feel after making this decision. For some of you, it has to do with commitment. For others of you, it's just a decision you'd like them to make or you have been asking them about. On your side, you may feel as though this person is kind of stringing you along if they're taking a very long time to commit or take it to the next level with you. But from this person's side, their unspoken words are, I promise I'm not trying to string you along or make this more unnecessarily long than it needs to be, but I want to make sure I'm sure of my decision, and it's going to take time for me to really get my head straight to see where I'm going next, to plan where I'm going next, to see like what I would feel if I make this decision or this decision. And it feels like from their perception, like I don't want to hurt you. And I don't want you to sort of see me as a villain in your story, if that makes sense. So They don't want to end up making the wrong decision, later regretting it, then hurting you. If they had to be completely honest, they would tell you, maybe I am unsure of what I want. Maybe I am doubting my decision making process. So that's what's coming through. On your side, you would probably tell them the stories you've been telling yourself in your head, based on what they haven't opened up about. So, for example, I spoke about them not maybe opening up about feelings or thoughts they have on a situation or on you. And, maybe as a result of that, you've been trying to sort of understand their mindset, to understand why they're doing the things they do, or understand their feelings. And all you have in your mind is the stories you tell yourself of maybe the possibilities of what it may be. I hope I'm making sense. So, for example, let's say this person said something to you and you ask them, why did you say that to me? And they're like, oh, honestly, I don't know. And they don't open up about it. So in your head, you have to sort of jump to conclusions to try understand why they said what they said. But in reality, you'll never know if the stories you told yourself in your mind of why they said what they said are true or not, because these are just your assumptions. So maybe you would tell them, like, you know, the way you're behaving or the way you're acting or the things you're saying, I'm taking it this way, but I'm not sure if it is like this. I'm assuming it's this way, but I'm not sure if it is like this. It's coming across this way to me, but I'm not sure if it is like this. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of what's coming through. I also see this energy of like, sometimes I feel alone in this connection because you're not opening up about your feelings and I am. And I want you to open up so that I don't have to keep telling myself these stories in my mind of what you feel. An unspoken thing that needs to be said from your side is things of the past that you have maybe not been able to let go of within this connections, things that happened in the past, things that were said in the past, things that you still sort of ruminate about or think about to this day that haven't quite been resolved yet. Or even if it's not necessarily being resolved, it could be happy memories from the past that still sort of ring on in your mind, the stories you kind of go back to in your mind from the past with them. Something about the past is coming up. And also the future of your connection, what you feel you want in the connection, and asking them to open up about what they want in the future of this connection, but also something to do with finances keep showing up. So on this person's side, an unspoken thing that needs to be said is they feel like they need to grow as a person. They feel like they need to plan better in regards to the decisions they make and their finances. They feel like they need to be sure of what they're doing or the decisions they're making next. Okay, so Spirit Guides of pile number 1. So we have the child with the divine child with the Hierophant. Next we have the poet with the King of Swords. And next we have the King of Pentacles reverse with the Minstrel. Okay, so what I do feel from your side, an unspoken thing that needs to be said to this person is you want this person to be open and romantic about their feelings and sort of tell you their feelings sort of like a poet would or something like that. Like, I keep getting this feeling of like, I want you to open up to me. I want you to tell me the things that are on your mind. I want you to tell me romantic things. Maybe some of you have a love language of words of affirmation, and maybe you feel a little bit neglected on that side. Like, maybe you need reassurance. You need to hear things like, I love you. You need to hear about this person's feelings in order to feel loved, because that could be your love language for some of you. And for some of you, you didn't necessarily receive that as a child. And, maybe in this connection, you sometimes seek reassurance from this person and you want to receive that from this person. I feel like you're not asking for too much, pile number one. And if this person isn't able to give that to you, then again, there may be this feeling of we need to reconsider if this is the right connection, because what you're asking for isn't too much. And if this person really cares about you, from my perspective and opinion, they will show you that effort to actually do that, even if they're not somebody that really talks about their feelings. If it's important to you, they will do it. If they truly care about you and your feelings, then they will do it. I feel like you could need to speak about certain childhood wounds that you have that maybe are being triggered within this connection. I feel like you maybe need to speak about things that happen in childhood that sort of still affect you to this day and affect your connections, so that they can understand you better on a deeper level, so that they can be more wise about how they approach certain situations with you. Because there's this feeling of like my inner child being triggered within this connection, in some way, shape, or form. King of Pentacles reverse, again, same thing about like difficult money situation. Okay, on their side, what are the unspoken words that need to be said? We have Papa Legba with strength. I feel like this person's a very quiet person, and it's not necessarily that they're hiding anything, but when I'm in their energy, I feel like it's very vague, like the unspoken words, because I feel like this person does speak about the things that are on their mind, but they don't have like that many unspoken words, if that makes sense. Like when I'm tapping into your energy, Pawan, it feels more like it's kind of just flowing through your feelings and everything. But when I tap onto this person's side, it's not that they don't feel anything, they do, but on their side, they're not somebody that's always thinking about their feelings and thinking about their thoughts towards you and stuff like that, if you get what I mean. So on their side, it kind of feels a little bit vague, and it's not that they're intentionally trying to be vague with you, but I feel like they're just not used to talking about their feelings or opening up that way. And maybe that's something they would tell you. Maybe that they'd say like, I'm more of a quiet person. I'm not really much of a talker. You know, maybe you're more of the talker and this person's more of the listener. So the Six of Swords and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so on this person's side, they would say to you that they have so much love for you and they don't want things to change in your connection. They don't want to hurt you. They want to reach some kind of level of self-control when it comes to this, because some part of them just wants to jump in, but another part of them is telling them to take it slow because they don't want to rush into things and end up hurting you. That is what I get from this person's energy. They would say to you, I feel the exact same way you feel. I feel the same spark you feel. You know, and I just don't want things to change in a negative way in our connection. Maybe I'm afraid of things changing, even if it's a positive change, because what if things change and I'm not happy with the way things change, even if it's a positive change? Um, Explain this to me, Spirit, more. I'm trying to understand. I think there's a fear here of like, I think this person would say to you, sometimes I don't speak about my feelings because I'm afraid of like being judged for my feelings, or I'm afraid that you don't feel the same way, or that you don't get what I feel, or misunderstand me in some way. I also feel like there's this feeling from this person of like, I want to speak about my feelings, but I don't exactly know how to put words to them. If that makes sense. I don't exactly know how to describe my feelings. What is this thing about the change, Spirit? Them being afraid of change and like being afraid that the change makes them unhappy. What is this about? Show me. Okay, Spirit is explaining it to me in a silly metaphor that I can understand. Um, so imagine we're going to a restaurant and we see something on the menu and it sounds delicious. But imagine we're kind of like trying to figure out if it's good or not. So we're going on Google, we're checking out what the dish looks like because it sounds like a delicious dish, but we want to check what ingredients are in there. We want to kind of just like see on Google what it looks like, you know. And now we order this dish and we're afraid that what if it comes to us and we end up not liking it? Although it sounds like a very delicious option, we're afraid that what if it actually gets here and we don't like it? But we're also optimistic about the fact that what if it does get here and it's our new favorite dish? So there's this feeling from this person of like, I'm looking out at other people have this thing, whatever this thing is. And it seems nice, it seems beautiful, but what if I'm there and I don't enjoy it and I hurt another person? So I feel like a sense of like, I want to do this, part of me wants to do this, but then part of me is afraid I don't enjoy it. And part of me is afraid I end up hurting you for not enjoying it. And once I make this decision and this change, I can't go back from it. So there's a feeling I'm getting from this person. This could be speaking about the commitment issues, like I said before. Like maybe some of you want to be in a connection with this person and make things official, but they just haven't done it yet. Maybe for some of you, it's like you're wanting to get married and they don't know if they want to get married. Maybe for others of you, it has to do with a decision you would like them to make that affects your connection in some way, if it's not commitment, but they're unsure of if they should make the decision. So take it as it resonates for you, but that's the gist of what I feel here. So these are the unspoken words that need to be said between the two of you. I really hope this reading resonated. Sorry that it was a little bit vague on their side, but like I said, when I tap into different people's energy, so say I tap into a person that's very talkative and open, you know, usually the messages will come through like that. Say I tap into somebody that's very quiet, the messages come through like that based on their personality. So yeah, I hope that this gave you something about them. So please let me know how it resonated in the comments. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number twos. If you chose this purple agate crystal and the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at the unsaid words between the two of you that need to be said. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. Have your person in mind while I shuffle the cards, and let's get started. So I'm hearing that song by Drake that's like, as soon as I got to your pile, I heard the song that's like, I'm too good for you, I'm way too good for you, you take my love for granted, something like that. I don't know what the song's called, but I'm hearing it. And I'm also hearing another song by Summer Walker. I'll get the exact song just now. Let me just shuffle the cards first. So Spirit Guides of pile number 2. Spirit Guides of pile number 2. What are the unspoken words between the two of them that need to be said? Can I please tap into pile 2's energy and the person on their mind? So on the left side is going to be your words that need to be said. On this side is going to be their words that need to be said. Okay, so you have the Page of Cups. You have the Five of Swords. Okay, I get it. I get it. 10 of Cups. It's starting to make sense. On their side, please. The Five of Pentacles. The Two of Cups. And the Seven of Swords. This is starting to make sense now. So the Six of Wands is popping out, King of Pentacles, and Nine of Cups at the back of the deck. So I was hearing the song called Over It by Summer Walker. I'm gonna look at the lyrics quickly to see what it's about. I don't really understand what the song's about even after reading the lyrics, but she talks about like I don't really know how to explain this song after looking at the lyrics. Maybe just listen to the lyrics and see what it means to you. But Summer Walker usually has like songs. Well, from what I know from the songs I've heard about her, she usually has songs that are quite sad in nature. Like, um, I've listened to a lot of her breakup songs and stuff like that. So it makes sense to me, like, why the cards are showing up like this and why I'm hearing her song. So the Five of Swords is here on your side, which can represent you feeling betrayed and hurt by this person in some way. And the Seven of Swords is on this person's side, which can represent, maybe this person has deceived you in some way and has sort of kept it from you or hasn't fully admitted to it, because that's what the Seven of Swords talks about. It can talk about lying, stealing, cheating, hiding things like that. But the Seven of Swords isn't always bad. It's not always like cheating and stuff like that. Sometimes it can come through as like hiding my feelings and stuff like that. So that's how I'm seeing the energy. But with the Five of Swords, a lot of you could have felt betrayed by this person in some way, or like this person didn't have the same loyalty towards you that you had towards them. And that could be an unspoken thing that needs to be said. Maybe you don't feel like you can trust this person anymore as a result of whatever was done here. And maybe that needs to be said to them, that, you can't just trust them unless they build trust with you again, unless they show you that they're a trustworthy person through their actions. It's not that easy to just trust them completely when they've done you wrong in the past. So maybe that needs to be said from your side. On your side, you still have a love for this person, but maybe part of you is over it. Maybe part of you believes you deserve better, which you do. And I think that a part of you almost feels naive for still feeling this way about this person. Like questioning, am I naive for still wanting this person, although they've hurt me or betrayed me? I'm smelling cigarette smoke. This person could smoke cigarettes. Weird message, but that's what I'm getting. I also heard the surname Smith for someone. That won't resonate with everybody. And what I'm basically picking up from this person's side, in terms of the unspoken words that need to be said, they still feel something towards you too with the Two of Cups, but they sometimes feel like you're better off without them, or they just end up hurting you, and they do feel some sense of regret for it. They do want to change, but they just don't know if they can. Um, Although they want to change, pile number two, I also don't want to sell you dreams as a reader. I also don't want to give you a false sense of hope. So you really need to look at this person and think, are they trying to change? Are they trying to improve? Are they trying to grow? And you will know the answer there. Although they want to change, are they actually doing the work to change? And that is the important question. So with the Five of Pentacles, for some of you, this person could have ghosted you or abandoned you in some way, or just left you with no closure. And maybe you still want this person back, or you still want closure, but maybe some of you don't want them back, but you still feel something towards them, but you want closure, or you want them to apologize to you or communicate to you why they left or why they did what they did, because maybe you're not able to fully move on from it because you don't have closure. And that's on your side, something that needs to be said. But on this person's side, they need to tell you why they abandoned you, or why they just like ghosted you, or why they just like stopped talking to you for weeks on end or days on end. I feel like they need to talk about why that is. So why is that, Spirit? Can you give me some insights into why that is, in case this person doesn't actually open up about it, so that we can give pile 2 closure on this? Okay, so now what I'm about to say may come across as harsh, pile number 2, but I'm going to try to give you closure in case this person ever opens up. So I'm seeing somebody open up a book, read it halfway, and get bored halfway. So this person could get bored easily in relationships. And now what I'm about to say, I don't mean this in an offensive way towards you, pile 2. This has nothing to do with you, but everything to do with them. I feel they get bored halfway in their relationships and they look elsewhere for that sense of passion, if that makes sense, or that sense of excitement. And the Seven of Swords can talk about like going behind somebody's back and looking elsewhere. So maybe this person has someone else in the picture, or just like moved on to try find somebody else because they got bored. And it has nothing to do with you or anything like that. It's not like you weren't listen to me here, pal, too. You could give them the most passion, the most fun connection in the whole world, and they'd still get bored halfway through. So it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with if you were good enough or not. It has nothing to do with that. In fact, this person may not even be good enough for you. So tell me more, Spirit. Why did this person do what they did? So that we can give pile 2 closure. For some of you, it was like they had so many responsibilities to take care of that they kind of just forgot. So let's say they went days without replying to you. Maybe they were so busy that they just forgot to reply. And it wasn't necessarily that they ghosted you on purpose, but the reason why I'm coming to this conclusion is Spirit is showing me, you know, when you wash your clothes and you put it on the washing line and you forget for a few days to take it back in, that's what Spirit's showing me clairvoyantly. So there could be this feeling of like, I got so busy and I forgot, out of sight, out of mind, and now for some of you, there was this feeling of like, I didn't reply for a few days and then it turned into months. And maybe I was just too embarrassed to tell you that I forgot to reply. Or maybe I kept doing it and distance grew between the two of us, if that makes sense. A bunch of cards just fell on the floor, so I'm going to show you what they are. So on this person's side, we have the Nine of Pentacles reversed. We have the Nine of Cups reversed. So they didn't truly know what they want. And that is why they did what they did. And maybe that's something you need to hear, that it has nothing to do with you. I feel like this person doesn't really know how to be alone. Maybe some of you had this connection end in some way abruptly where you didn't expect it with the Tower at the back of the deck. And there's this feeling of like you thought things were going really well between the two of you, and then you saw this person end up with somebody else or move on so quickly, and you questioned if they did actually cheat or not. For some of you, I'm picking up on that energy. For some of you, they went back to somebody from their past they just weren't fully over, with the Six of Cups reversed, and they never actually opened up to you about that, and you maybe felt blindsided by this person in some way. Six of Swords coming up next. So on their side, what are the unspoken words that need to be said on pile 2 side? Okay, you have the Tower. For you, it's like, why did things end so abruptly? Like, I thought we were good. I thought that everything was going well. Why did it end so quickly? Why did you destroy something good? Page of Swords, questioning, curiosity, all the whys, if that makes sense. And Seven of Pentacles reversed. Why did things not work out between the two of us? On your side, I don't even feel like pulling cards anymore, because I feel like I've gotten the gist of your feelings towards them, of just needing closure, needing a why, feeling curious, like, why did you hurt me? Why did you break my heart, with the Three of Swords popping out? The High Priestess, maybe you somewhat pick up energetically why they did it, but maybe you want some kind of confirmation from this person because maybe you doubt your own intuition, or you don't know if it's true or not. And you know, you were very happy in this connection and you thought they were happy, and you maybe want to ask them, why did this end? Like, why didn't you want to be with me anymore? Because I feel like things abruptly ended here for most of you watching. Or it's like maybe the distance is growing between the two of you and you're asking, is there somebody else? Like, are they leaving me? Are they ghosting me? I'm just not sure. So that's what I'm getting. On their side, there's this feeling of like, I didn't know how to be alone. Yes, I betrayed you. On their side, they would admit that. Yes, there was someone else for most of you watching. The Six of Swords reverse tells me that even though they have left your life, they would tell you that they didn't truly know what they want with the Nine of Cups reversed. But now that you're not in their life anymore, they kind of miss you. Which is strange to say because, like I said, pile number 2, I don't want to sell you dreams or give you false hope within this reading, but I'm going to tell you exactly what's felt on their side. But it doesn't necessarily mean that this person's good for you just because they feel these things. So when listening to this, put your emotions to the side and really think about, okay, yes, maybe this person misses me, but if they come back around second time around, are they going to make the same mistakes again? Is this going to become a pattern? Are they going to, string me along again? That kind of feeling. It's very important for you to look at because I don't want you to get hurt, pile number 2, because the Six of Cups reverse to me represents a pattern that keeps happening over and over and over again. A past issue that keeps resurfacing. And this is a pattern on their side. They've done this to many other people as well, not just you. So, this person, if they had to be honest with you, they would admit that, okay, I'm a little bit of a wishy-washy person. Sometimes I'm hot, sometimes I'm cold. Sometimes I know what I want, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want something and later I don't. So this person changes their mind so quickly that I wouldn't necessarily trust their feelings if I were you. Knight of Cups reversed. I feel the energy of somebody that jumps from relationship to relationship, that just does things impulsively without thinking them through. This would be the type of person that would go out to a club, get drunk, and do something they would never usually do, or say things they would never usually say. They have a lot of secrets with the moon popping out of the tarot deck, so they would tell you about those secrets if those unspoken secrets had to be said. I don't know what those secrets actually are, but that's what I see. Those secrets may hurt you, and they might be more secrets than you realize. This is heavy. I'm sorry, pile number 2. I wish I could give you a big hug right now. I feel like if this person had to really be open and honest with you, they would tell you that you deserve a lot better than them. They would tell you that they leave and come back and leave and come back, and they don't truly know what they want. Like, they would tell you that it has nothing to do with you. Like, things could be going great and well and everything could be perfect, but I still have some kind of impulsivity. That's what they would tell you, that I just do things without thinking, and sometimes they hurt others and I feel embarrassed about it after, and then I hide away and I ghost a person because of that. Sometimes things could be perfect in a connection, but then this person still feels like leaving. So this person could have a little bit of an avoidant personality. They could be a runner. They could be in a connection and everything's going well, but they still feel like leaving the connection and seeking something else. I really feel like crying as I'm in the energy, and I might be feeling your emotions. So I'm going to end the reading here because I feel like I've said everything that needs to be said from this person's side. So I do hope this reading resonated with you and brought you some kind of closure or clarity on this person's unspoken words or feelings. So yeah, let me know how it resonated in the comments. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my Paloma 3s. If you chose the Chrysocolla crystal and the Light Seers tarot, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at the unspoken words that need to be said between the two of you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. On the left side, we're going to take a look at your unspoken words, and on this side, we're going to take a look at your person's unspoken words. So keep your person in mind while shuffling the cards. You can pick any person on your mind at all. So I keep feeling like sneezing in your reading. I don't know why. So Spirit Guides of pile number 3. Spirit Guides of pile number 3. May I please tap into their energy and the person on their mind's energy? What are the unspoken words that need to be said between the two of them? So on pile 3 side, please, you have the Ace of Cups. You have the Devil. You have the Five of Pentacles reversed. On this person's side, please. So you have the King of Swords reversed. You have the High Priestess reversed. And you have the Two of Swords. Okay, so on this person's side, I see a lot of trust issues. So I see that they need to speak about that to you because they have a little bit of a guard up pile number 3. And it may be affecting like how your connection progresses, as well as the decisions they make in this connection. They may overthink their own decisions. They may overthink, if they can trust you. For a lot of you, this feels like a very new connection that is still starting to blossom. But for others of you, if you have been around this person for some time, then it's not that they don't necessarily trust you, but maybe they have trust issues in general and they struggle to open up and let their guard down, even if they know the person logically is trustworthy, if that makes sense. This person has a lot of anxiety, and sometimes they don't know how to tell between their anxiety and their gut feelings. Sometimes they mistake their own anxiety as a gut feeling when it's really not, when it's really just overthinking and ruminating on things. So sometimes this person needs to open up to you about what they overthink about what they ruminate about, where these trust issues come from, what happened to them that caused these trust issues, so that you can better understand them. They need to open up to you whenever they are feeling anxious about trusting someone, whenever they do ruminate or overthink situations. They need to open up to you so that you can give them that reassurance they need. But they are too afraid to ask for that. This person has really high walls to protect themselves that sometimes nobody can come in. And this is what this person would say to you if they had to speak about the unspoken words, like, I really try to let my guard down, but sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes I have these high walls that, I can't expect anybody to climb over, because what I'm seeing clairvoyantly is Shrek, the first movie where he has to rescue Fiona from that whole dungeon tower situation, and there were so many like skeletons there of people that tried to rescue her, but it was sort of like an almost impossible mission. So it's almost like impossible to get over this person's walls, if you get what I mean. And that's what this person would tell you, like, I'm sorry that sometimes I have such a big guard up that I don't let you in, because they do realize and are aware that they have this, and they do want to let their guard down, but they don't exactly know how to. It's a little bit of a challenge for them with a 7 of Wands at the back of the deck. They don't want to go into situations blindly, but sometimes they feel as though they need to be able to blindly trust a person, and they are trying to do that with you. Because we can never know what a person may choose to do. We can open up to a person and think they're the love of our life or our best friend, and later they choose to hurt us. Or we can open up to them and they choose to be the most loving person to us ever. We can't control another person's decisions. But this person is trying to open up to the idea of blindly trusting a person more, not in a way of naivety, but in a way of like, I know I can logically trust you. I know you've never done anything to break my trust. So I'm just going to blindly trust that you'll continue to do that. even though I don't truly know that that's what you're going to continue to do. So this is what this person would say to you if they opened up to you. On your side, the unspoken words that need to be said. I feel like a lot of you, like I said, a lot of you, this is a new connection, someone you're newly interested in. You would tell them how much attraction you have towards them with the devil. Like, maybe you haven't actually told them how attracted you are to them, how much sexual tension there is between the two of you. With the Ace of Cups, maybe you also haven't exactly told them how you truly feel about them on a heart level. And even if you've been with this person for some time or had them in your life for some time, maybe you haven't fully opened up about those feelings you have for them and the emotions you have for them and sort of the way your heart feels in this connection. Whether it's good or bad, you probably haven't fully opened up about that, and that needs to be spoken about. The Five of Pentacles reverse tells me that maybe some of you are also afraid of something here. Maybe some of you have had toxic relationships in the past that need to be opened up about, or baggage from the past, like emotionally, that needs to be opened up about. Like, there's this feeling of we need to have a heart-to-heart conversation about the things we've been through so we can better understand each other and the wounds we may have, so that we don't accidentally throw salt on those wounds. You know when you throw salt in a wound and it burns, or you, like, I don't know if you've ever cut a finger and then you eat spicy food and it burns that cut. That's what I'm seeing. It's like we shouldn't accidentally burn each other's wounds. So we need to know about each other's wounds so that we don't accidentally hurt each other. So that we can be aware of how we must sort of interact with the other person. Maybe for some of you, there's an abandonment wound here or a wound around money. So that is what I'm getting, or like wounds around giving so much to another person but not having them give it back. So maybe there's also some fears of your own that need to be spoken about to them. So tell me more, Spirit, about the unspoken words that need to be said. I'm tasting sushi, so maybe there's something about like one of you wants to go on a date with the other. When I think of sushi, I think of food and dates, so that's why I say that. So the Emperor reverse, the World, and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so an unspoken thing on your side that needs to be said is how maybe your wounds have affected your own self-worth and confidence, and how you have truly let go of toxic people, bad habits. There's this feeling of like, I've released all of that and I don't want to be in that again. Maybe some of you were in controlling or trigger warning abusive connections and you don't want to see yourself in that again. Maybe some of you were with people that didn't want to commit to you but also wanted to control you at the same time, and you don't want to be in that type of connection again. So maybe you need to speak about your expectations with this person of what you don't want in a connection, what your deal breakers are, what you won't accept, what won't work. What would make you walk away or let go of this person if they were to do it? You need to lay your boundaries on the table and let it be clear that if you cross this line, it's over. That's a deal breaker for me. Because now I know my worth, I'm not settling for less than I deserve. That's what you need to tell this person, but in a way of setting the boundaries and saying, if you cross this line, it's over. This is a deal breaker for me. What are your deal breakers? Like, speak about that to them, the deal breakers. Even if this is a friendship, those boundaries need to be laid out. Okay. So on their side, what words need to be said that are unspoken? Six of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. Okay, so on their side, the unspoken words that need to be said are this person's like intentions towards you, and also like what they want in the future with you, how they want things to progress in your connection. Maybe that's something you should ask them if you're curious about that. But I do think this person needs to open up about that so that you two can make sure you're on the same page about where you're going next. Because the worst thing we can do is enter a new connection with someone, whether it's a friendship or romantic connection, and not tell the other person what we want. And then we have different wants and it's unaligned. So, the best thing this person can do for your connection to really progress and move forward in the best possible way is to tell you about what they want for the future, to tell you their plan, where they see things going in the future with you, so that you are both knowing for sure that you're on the same page about where you're going. With the Six of Wands, this person needs to open up to you and tell you about their dreams and goals that have to do with their success and their career. So I think that this person really wants to achieve big things to do with their goals and to do with their dreams. And they need to tell you about those goals and dreams. Just because it's a part of them that's important to them, and they don't really talk about that, so they need to talk about it. They need to admit to you that sometimes they can be a little bit detached emotionally as a result of being in their head. Sometimes they can be a little bit distant as a result of being in their head. There's this feeling of we need to tell each other these things about us so that it's not sort of like an unexpected thing later on. So what's being shown to me is, when you get into a new connection with someone and you only see like the good sides of them, you don't necessarily see their flaws yet. There shouldn't be any surprises here. So this person needs to be upfront about the things about them they don't necessarily like, so that you can be aware of it, so that it's not like a surprise later on of like, oh, it's not like a feeling of like, oh, you hid this from me, because I don't feel like this person hides part of their personality from you, but like you don't want to feel like, oh, you hid this from me, if that makes sense. Travel is also coming up, so if they plan on traveling anytime soon or traveling in the future, that also needs to be spoken about so that you're aware of it. I feel like there isn't really that much, but more so like opening up about maybe our past, the things we've been through, getting to know each other on that deeper emotional level, maybe opening up about our wounds, opening up about our deal breakers, our boundaries, opening up about the future. I feel like those are just the basic things I'm seeing. I don't feel like there's really that much in this pile, but let's see if I can get more. Is there anything more that needs to be said between the two of you that is unspoken from pile 3's side and their side? So Page of Wands reversed, the 10 of Wands, the 4 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, the 5 of Swords, and the Hangman reversed. So they need to speak about how they've been betrayed in the past, who hurt them, how it affected them over time, so that, like I said before, we don't accidentally pour salt or pepper on that wound. And, there's that type of feeling of like, we need to know about this so that you're aware of it, so that you're aware of their wounds. And their triggers, if that makes sense. So with the Hangman reverse, this has affected them for a very long time, longer than it maybe was supposed to, or maybe longer than they wanted it to. With the Ace of Pentacles, this person wants to let go of it. They want to turn over a new page, turn over a new leaf, if that makes sense, and kind of just go into this new beginning where they're able to feel secure within themselves and secure within their connections. But I do also think that that's maybe why they haven't opened up about those wounds, because they want to leave the past in the past. They feel like they should have moved on from this a long time ago, but they haven't. Not that they still feel feelings towards past people or anything like that, but there's still a sense of anger here towards people from the past that maybe hurt them or deceived them or betrayed them with the 5 of Swords. And I feel like it needs to be spoken about so that this person and you can have more of an understanding of each other so that they're able to turn over the new leaf, okay? On your side, what needs to be spoken about is that you need a secure and safe person in your life. You need an emotionally safe person. You need an emotionally available person. You need somebody that values you, that doesn't like diminish your worth, if that makes sense, or there's this feeling of like you being in past connections where maybe you felt worn out, maybe you felt like underappreciated, maybe you felt like that person stopped caring or stopped feeling like some kind of spark towards you, if that makes sense. Maybe some of you even felt like you lost yourself or parts of yourself in past connections, and that needs to be spoken about. It's like we need to lay our baggage on the table so that we're both aware of it. And when I say baggage, I don't mean it as a bad thing, but we just need to both be aware of it. And I feel like that's the gist of what I'm seeing here, because it's going to help both of you be able to move forward. Even just talking about it, it's going to help both of you feel closer to each other, not in like a trauma bonding unhealthy way, but just like understand each other deeper. So that's all that needs to be said. I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please let me know how this reading resonated for you in the comments, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.